All right, this is part two with Awesome Dre, NTP Open Mic Thursdays, Artist Talk, and we're on the question of who would Awesome Dre like to work with?
And back again, let me think of some outrageous artists that may or may not. But yeah, like I said, if you throw it out there, you never know what might
Right.
stick. I already said Sade and the Average White Band. That's pretty out there. Let me see. I mean, just in general.
Are there
even
any
in
more
hip-hop.
bands that you want to work with, or any singers that you want to work with that you've always looked up to that you want to work with?
Think.
While you thinking on that, we'll go to the
Right.
next question. The next question, since I was talking about mentors earlier, who are mentors that you look up to? Five, just five. I know you probably got a laundry list of people who you look up to, but who have been five people in your life that have really been impactful? So let's just start with five. We can add to it later, but
If I can get to five.
let's get to five.
No, it's a lot more. But you know, sometimes you just draw a blank. You know, when you on the spot and you live,
Yeah.
doing your thing. So
Yeah.
when the camera click off, I'll be like, oh yeah, so and so and so and so,
Right,
so and so.
right.
Why ain't you say me? They calling me and all that. But you know, no, definitely one of them is Chuck D from Public Enemy.
Okay.
This is one of my idols that I used to look up to and was influenced by to create my very first record in the studio, hardcore, which was like loosely based around the format of Rebel Without a Pause. But he's been looking out for me ever since I met this guy. He's a real one, you know. That's I got a lot of respect for him. He is a mentor. He's taught me a lot, showed me a lot. Babatunde, which is my second executive producer for AD's Revenge. This brother, exposed me to a lot of knowledge, information, knowledge of self, awareness, diet, health, as well as we worked on the music as well. Of course, Ivan Ill, he was the first executive producer of Awesome Dre and the Hardcore Committee. Produced all of the 12 inches in the album, the first album. Let's see.
Any family members?
Well, if I don't say my mother, I'm a damn fool. But it's true because, she always was there, always had my back regardless. And, if anyone, you have to have a good relationship with your mother. I honor their mother and their father in their days would be longer. My father, he passed away, bless him, respect him, and because he gave me, also he's another one because he gave me like skills, like building skills, things that I can use outside of the music or whatnot, where I can, get money on, construction, carpentry, painting, different things like that, which goes a long way because I still do that work to this day, as well.
There's one more.
Let's see. You know what? Next time I'm going home and write all of this stuff
Yeah.
down. I'll do my own
Yeah.
interview with myself and write all this stuff down so I can memorize it. Because you be on the spot and you just be like drawing a blank because it's so many people like you say it's way more than five, and then you be mad when you can't recall right on the spot and you're leaving and you're riding in the car at home and you be like you want to kick your own ass.
But that's why we do it like this, so that later you can bring up some more.
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Yeah. So, all right. One last question.
One last question. I want to make it a
Thank God.
for you. One last question.
In the hot seat.
It's all good.
All right, Awesome Dre. You your own unique individual, your own man, your own brand. Like for real, 30 years in the game. That's a lot of work. I haven't even touched 30 yet. So that means you've been at it.
I'm old as hell.
That means you've been at it long before I've been around. So I gotta respect that. So with you and all your leadership and your veteranship, what do you feel like you bring to NTP Open Mic Thursdays as a contributing host?
That's a good question, and you kind of spoke on it on the last part of that, and that's basically experience. It goes a long way. Professionalism. Even though when I'm coming, a lot of times I'll be flying by the seat of my pants. I'll be off with winging it and all of that because I've gained that privilege, to be able to do that. I've done it so many times over the years. I mean, we've had big shows. We wait till the last day to rehearse, if we rehearse, And then we just go in. When we was on tour with Public Enemy in '99, me, Champ Town, The Fusion, DJ Carter, Visible Man, we was switching up the set every night. We didn't know what we was gonna do, and that was crazy because it kept everybody like wanting to see what was what, especially the tour mates, the people who was on tour with us. It was crazy because they thought we was like competing or something, but it was a package deal. We was opening up, so it was like we have to set the tone. You know what I mean? So we can't be monotonous or whatnot. We had to be spontaneous and roll with the energy of the crowd. So we analyzed that every night and seen what we thought they would like, and we would switch up songs every night and hit them with what we was feeling, that night, and just keep it spontaneous. But what I bring is my energy, my experience, because I am a lyricist, an MC, and master of ceremonies. Even though I'm co-hosting as of now, and I'm more of an MC lyricist than an MC party host, but this is giving me experience to be able to do that. And I go back and I think of my brothers like Prince Whipper Whip, you know what I mean? He's an MC, the first Bronx Puerto Rican MC from Fantastic Five, Fantastic Free. You can see them in Wild Style. But he's the type, he'll rock the mic, but he'll get, and they invented everybody say ho, throw your hands in the air, all of this stuff. These guys literally invented that, so it's just like the hypeness of keeping the party going, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I kind of try to feed from that just by thinking about my the people that I look up to and the predecessors that came before me. But at the same time, it's just like always being able to sharpen your sword, you know what I mean? To hone your skills, to get up in it, because there'd be many a times that things may be going on in my day where I'm not mentally there, but at the same time, it's an obligation, it's a professional obligation that I want to represent. Not only me, but as the brand NTP backstage, I have to, hold that up. So if you got to put that to the side sometime. You can't never let them see you sweat all the time. So you have to just get up there and do what you do. And it gets easier and more second nature and old hat as you go. So, I appreciate, the opportunity to be able to do that, especially in a different market, per se. I'm from Detroit, this Pontiac, but, Waterford, Pontiac. And, but it's two different worlds, because we have people that's in Detroit that never came here, don't plan on coming here, and vice versa. I have people in Detroit that never been to the east side of Detroit and don't plan on going. And thinking they cool with their life, and that's cool for you. But, for us, we got to expand, we got to reach out, and we got to spread the word, the vibe, the message, the energy. So I bring a lot, man, because like I said, I've been doing it close to 30 years, off and on, but it's always on for the people who respect and follow you. Even if you come up with one song that they like, that's going to be in their playlist forever. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't like, oh, I'm just going to stop listening to Flashlight now. I heard it too many times now. No. The more you hear it, the better it gets. It's forever. It's infinite. It's residual. It keeps going. So just to give it back to them, but it motivated me even to get more creative now, because I can live off of the so-called accolades of success that we got 25, 30 years ago, or I can use that to build a platform to create new content, new material, or use that to open up doors for other artists, like say whether they're young or old. But the youth are the most important, but I'm saying I'm not excluding all the other people because you too old to do this, you too old to do that. No. It's when you get tired or the people tell you it's over for you, then you go sit down. But other than that, if this is your passion and this is your livelihood, your lifestyle, you want to make a career out of it and not just a hobby or anything like that, not even a job. Most people, jobs and careers, two different things. So I want a career, not a job. But if all careers are jobs, but all jobs are definitely not careers. So you have to differentiate and to find out what do you love, what do you have a passion for, get paid doing it. Because that's what most of the most successful, happier people, it's not necessarily meaning I made $1 million or not, but I'm happy, I'm content with, I'm being paid more than money because of the feedback that you get from the people, from one person telling you that you touched them in a way. That's like, oh man, your song, man, I was feeling it, man. Shit, it made me want to do better or do something different, or made me not want to do something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be. Just like, you know, we have those therapeutic songs. Certain songs, I get in the mode and I listen to that song all day, just to keep me grounded in that mode. You know, so the music is powerful, is medicine, is therapeutic.
Right, right.
So, you know, I love it. So, like I say, I'll talk all night.
I know you will. Beautiful thing. One thing I'm so glad that you mentioned was age, because my parents still to this day they still work, and that's because they want to work, and they're passionate about what it is they do in regards to a career and so forth. So you're never too old or too young to do something major. So I'm glad you pointed that out. It doesn't matter about age and so forth, because you can always do what you love doing, and because you can either live living or you can live dying.
Who was that? Who was the white dude, Andy? What was his name? He did a song with Rihanna, the old like Frank Sinatra type of singer guy. But he did a song with her a couple of years ago. But it was his first.
Is this somebody you want to work with then?
No, but it was just it was an example of a person that just sticking with it. It was like, what is his name? It's a famous.
So we're gonna come back to that.
No, but he.
What?
I know
What?
what you're
He
talking
had
about,
his first #1
but I
record,
cannot
and he
call
was like
him.
70
Oh, how
something
old? You
years
talking about
old.
age?
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
yeah.
like 70-some years old. He
Yeah.
always had been doing it, but he didn't have his first hit record until that. You
Yeah.
know, until he was
Age
like
doesn't
70s,
matter.
But he didn't
Yeah.
give up. Like,
No,
oh,
you
man,
can't
you know
give
what
up.
I'm saying? And Rihanna, you know, it helped.
But
So yeah, you
But
can't.
vice versa.
Yeah.
Because most people haven't heard of her that already know of him. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which, you know, I can't even remember the name right now.
Right.
But you all know. You know.
Right.
What was his
I
name?
can't think of
hey,
his
social media, they don't know who
So
you
yeah, yeah. So let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Yo, just from me to you, you know, I lend myself to your wealth of experience with me being a host, promoter, consultant. I don't know it all. You know, I just jumped into this as, you know, something, you know, people say, hey, you good at this, that, and that. My skill set matched this, but I don't know it all. So I definitely lend myself to your wealth of experience because you somebody who'd have been around the block. You'd have seen it all. You'd have been around the ones who'd have been on top. You have been one of the ones that have been on top. So, you know, I humbly lend myself unto your wealth of experience as you being part of this team because, you know, you can help me avoid some of them stumbling blocks along the way. So personally, from me to you, I definitely respect the journey that you've been on. I respect the work that you put in because it is work that deserves to be honored. Because not only did you do it, but you still doing it today in 2017, and that's to be respected because there's a lot of people who done came up and they done burned out and they forgotten about.
Right, right.
You know, they just an afterthought. But the fact that you still after say a lot about your commitment and your relevancy, and I respect that 100.
Right.
So I just say that from me to you.
I like that.
And this is NTP, Open Mic Thursdays. This is Artist Talk. We here with me, myself, Prestige. We here with Marlene. And we here with the legendary.
Awesome.
And I say that with a whole heart.
Right.
Legendary, because he done did it. He got an exhibit in the DIA, baby. You got to be somebody to be in the DIA. Because that's a big establishment in Detroit where thousands of people go through every day. And they look and they explore and they have their mind expand. And Awesome Dre himself and the hardcore committee, they all featured for the work they did in the past generation, which is still affecting the generation today. That work is being acknowledged today. You here with the NTP family, and I appreciate it because you could be anywhere else doing anything. So like I said, this is NTP, Open Mic Thursdays, Artist Talk. It's the legendary Awesome Dre. If you hear the sound of my voice, you better take my command and acknowledge him as legendary. Awesome Dre. And this is NTP, Open Mic Thursdays, Artist Talk, and we signing off.
All right.
Hey,